as we draw the curtain on what has been a very, very immensely successful edition of the Future of the Mining Summit 2025. I stand here with pride and gratitude. This is an event that has drawn captains of industry, government leaders, financiers, regulators, investors, researchers, entrepreneurs, young people, young professionals, ordinary Botswana. It has all brought us under one roof, and we are all united by a common vision to shape the future of mining in Botswana. Let me start by thanking everyone who made this summit possible, your own individual sacrifice. Looking around this room, when I have to calculate, and I do have a sharp mind by looking at the individuals around here, this is the real mainstay of the economy. You have sacrificed 2 days of being part of this very important conference. I'm reliably informed that we have had over 800 delegates, which by no measure is a small feat. This includes quite a number of international executives, investors, regional, global mining heads, government ministries, parastatals, financial institutions, academia, civil society, and of course, ministers, and who we still have 2 ministers sitting here. It is now clear that the Future of Mining Summit has firmly cemented itself as the convening point for the entire mining value chain. The conversations that we've had, the deliberations, the contestation of ideas that have taken place over the past 2 days will definitely form a very key part of what the agenda on future of mining needs to be. We stand here celebrating, obviously, the success in terms of the conversations, the presentations. But at the same time, we also acknowledge the real issues that we have on the ground. We have an economy that's on its knees. The economists are predicting a negative growth moving forward. So it means that we have to stand up as people sitting in this room, a very important constituent of the Botswana transformation agenda around enhancing our GDP, because mining is still the largest contributor to GDP. I know we keep on hearing that we need to diversify away from mining. I have a different view, totally different view. I think from some of the conversations that we've been hearing, we've only scraped just the surface of our mineralogy in terms of exploration. That's a God-given gift that we've been given as a nation. And it's something that we can still utilize and benefit the next generations. But the big question beckons is, what are we going to do as a country moving forward with these minerals that we still have? And I think the last panel here And having the Minister, Rasalakai here of Transport, basically Minister of Logistics, the person who makes transport happen around mining. We heard from the acting MD of Minergy the challenges. He gave it in statistical form, in monetary form, the importance and the challenges around transportation, cost of transportation. To the international investors, to the researchers, maybe it means we need to start thinking differently. With the minerals that we have, that have obviously built this outstanding country and still to build the future of this country, we are challenged that despite having those minerals, we are about to get into negative growth. If we follow the same formula that we've been following, Botswana is not going to go out of the doldrums. We need to challenge ourselves, come up with new ideas, different ideas, and that can only come from value chain development. We need to be bold and brave and ensure that nothing leaves Botswana in its raw form. Nothing leaves Botswana in its raw form, because that's where the new jobs are going to come from. That's where the promises that have been made to the Botswana that the new government is going to create 500,000 jobs. Maybe we'll see the seriousness of that if we call it 500,000 rather than 500,000 over the next 5 years. If you look at the employment levels that we have, if we have to value add, we'll definitely create 10x in terms of employment. We'll definitely create new revenue streams. We'll definitely start seeing positive growth. But for this to happen, we need very deliberate and intentional policies. I heard our good doctor earlier on talking about the transport policy. I was listening very careful to hear whether we are going to get something definitive that the transport policy is going to be implemented or going into the next session of Parliament in July, which is a Parliament of lawmaking. But there is still uncertainty. And the good doc, it's clear from your presentation that that is a key enabler towards unlocking logistics. So it means that it's imperative that it has to go into the next session Parliament of July. There's nothing impossible about that. We've seen in the past during COVID, laws were made over 24 hours. The hemp law was made over 48 hours. So there's no policy or law that cannot be made in such a short time if it's made for ease of doing business. So I really hope, with the minister here sitting and listening to that, because this is one of the key enablers, that we will, with immediate urgency, formulate and go through the process of ensuring that that law goes into the July Parliament. Despite having had a very good 2 days, I'm also a bit disturbed, Honorable Minister, that we have mining as still the single largest contributor towards our GDP, and we still believe that is the cornerstone of our future. But we only have 2 ministers from transport. I expected a flurry of ministers here to be sitting with us these 2 days and deliberating on the issues. International investment is about security of your investment. We can all sit here as researchers, as intellectuals, as business people. I can never assure that security. That security can only be given by political office. We plead through you, Honorable Minister, that in such type of events, which are very key and important for our country, that we ensure that we continuously have the relevant ministers, Minister of Energy, Minister of Trade, Minister of Communications and Innovation, Minister of Transport such as yourselves, Minister of Labor, because all these are key ingredients that are needed to transform our economy and to ensure that we get back our economy, moving away from the negative trajectory that we are seeing now to a positive trajectory. So we need contestation of ideas and sharing of ideas to happen with political leadership in the same room. So I trust my good minister that our plea as the business community to continuously have political leadership with us as we have such difficult conversations and coming up with solutions for the country are done with everybody in the room, because that's when one really gets to appreciate the nuances and the real issues on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, we can all agree that globally, the whole view around mining is changing. We are challenged with issues around ESG. We are challenged with issues around digitization. But I am pleased to say that through this conference, we have adequately challenged ourselves, had the right conversations, and I'm hoping that through the project office and the project managers of this event, you will come up with the right resolutions that are going to indeed transform and make our 2 days worthwhile. It's a big sacrifice that has been done by individuals sitting around here. Trust me, they don't want to come here next year and we have the same conversations again. Trust me, if no resolutions are found around these things, then we are going to lose those international investors in coming to sit with us and contest ideas and find how we can come up with resolutions for our country. Let me say, as the president of Business Botswana, I am particularly encouraged by this alignment we have seen over the past 2 days. And it's really representative of what we want to see in the private sector. And I hope in other key sectors, we will also see summits of such nature so that we can deliberate and talk about important issues that are going to change our country. I wish to acknowledge, lastly, a great appreciation to the honorable ministers that did come here, the Honorable Minister of Energy, the Honorable Minister of Transport and Infrastructure and Assistant Minister, and of course, the Minister of Local Government and Traditional Affairs. Equally, I would like to commend the Ministry of Minerals and Energy and the various partners and state-owned enterprises in continuing to collaborate and ensure that this important platform has become a success. Business Botswana is proud to walk with you this very important journey. And together, we are creating a space where ideas are tested, most importantly, commitments are made. And history will judge us harshly if those commitments don't turn into implementation and reality. As I come to the conclusion of my closing remarks, let me take this opportunity to thank the outstanding work that has been done by the Project magazine. The Project magazine epitomizes what goes through every young Motswana out there who yearns to have a platform where they are able to make a difference. This event was organized by Botswana using other capabilities within Botswana, by Botswana, and your professionalism and dedication throughout construction of this event, because I've been there from day one, watched you constructing this event till today, and I must say, well done, guys. Right from registration, the rich program, how you guys have been able to get such a high level quality presenters and speakers, and hospitality. You deserve another big round of applause. In closing, let us leave here with a renewed sense of hope for the future. Botswana still has a bright future in mining if we do the right things. And on behalf of Business Botswana and the business community and everybody who has found it fitting to be here for the 2 days, I would like to once again thank you and say, travel home safely. Pula. Ke a leboga.